Hi everyone, and welcome back to Amity Bloom. Today's video is going to be a really fun spread in my art journal. Today I'm going to be working in the middle of my signature in my art journal, and I wanted to do something that kind of popped out at you when you went to the middle of the book. And I was so inspired by my papers, they just scream spring to me, and I wanted to add a really fun element in here. And so what I decided to do is use my papers and cut them into heart shapes to create little butterflies. Let me show you how to get started. So the first thing that you need to do is, of course, have a blank page in your journal. I love that tea stained paper, but I want to use some of my French paper that is included in my paper packs, and I trimmed it to the size of my paper, and then I also folded it so that I could have a little flip, kind of like a little extension to do some more journaling or to add anything else that I want to. And then I also want to fold it in half just so that it fits right into the middle of my journal. And everything is aligned so that it becomes really easy. I'm going to take some glue to adhere my paper right onto my journal page. Really, really easy. There's not a fancy technique on how to do this, believe me. And then when I fold my paper, there's a big white space that I need to cover up, and I'm just going to use that same paper that we used just to continue using it. Once you have glued the paper, if you want to hide that white backing, if you don't have double-sided paper, it looks something like this. And then when you open it up, you have a full piece of paper that can hide within the size of your journal. So now that the base or the foundation to our journal is made, it's time to create our little heart-shaped butterflies. These are the pieces that I already have made just to show you how different the shape can turn out. I'm not using a template, and I don't recommend one. It gives you a regularity with your little butterfly shapes, and it makes it look more eclectic and more interesting, as if all of the little wings were perfectly made. In nature, not one butterfly wing is exactly the same, so I wanted to use that same technique with our paper cutting. Depending on the size of your butterfly wings, you can use a larger piece of paper or a smaller one. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper from the Bellflower paper collection that's in my shop right now, and I'm just going to fold it in half, making sure that both sides have some type of design on there. And like I mentioned before, you can use a template or you can freehand it. I always like to draw with a pencil first, and usually draw on the underside so that you can't see the design or what I draw on the part that has the pretty design paper. I just start from the middle and I go outward, and I do the same thing, making sure it's somewhat even. And then taking your scissors, you want to cut along your little heart that you sketched out. So this is what you should be left with, the cute little heart shape. And then when you open it up, it looks just like butterfly wings. It's that easy and simple to create little butterflies out of paper. Now, if you want to do a layered effect, kind of with this one, all you have to do is cut another one that's either smaller or bigger than the first one that you initially made. Here's a little piece of music paper, fold it in half. And then you can use your little butterfly wing to see how much bigger you need to draw your heart. I'm just going to draw it a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut around. And then when you open it up, you have a butterfly. You started with a heart, now you have a little butterfly. And then your other little butterfly shape can go right on top, and you have that layered effect. It's so pretty, and it adds so much dimension too. You can decide if you want to glue it onto your wing permanently or if you want to leave it like this to have that three-dimensional element. So now that you have your little butterflies prepped and cut, it's time to create that little body of the butterfly. To create the little body that connects both wings together, this is a little strip from a French book page, and I like to add some glue right along your strip. All you want to do is lay your strip down, put your first little butterfly wing on top, and then put your second one on top of that one, and then you just want to fold and bring down your little strip. The reason I like to do this is it gives you a flat surface on the back that you can glue to include them onto your journal pages. So let me show you how you do that with these little tiny babies. The smaller your butterfly, the smaller your strip of paper should be. This one is super tiny. If you wanted to make it easier, you could also grab some washi tape. This is probably the easiest way to connect your butterfly wings together. So I usually like to cut my washi down depending on the size of your butterfly. And then what you want to do is you want to add it right in the center, turn it over, and then just cover the back. And then you just want to cut off the excess. And now the next step, which is something that I love to do, is I like to outline my butterfly wings with a pen or marker. And this is so that you give a nice focal point to the wings. They don't get lost on your page. And when I put it on a white page, you definitely see how this one stands out a lot more than this one. And then I like to do the same thing with my smaller wings. And I want to repeat that on all of my little butterfly wings. So now that I have outlined the wings to my butterflies, I like to pass this through my sewing machine down the center for all of my 3 little butterflies. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can definitely skip this step. So let me go ahead, take this to my sewing machine, and I'll be right back to show you what we ended up creating.